if they are addicted, because they don't take in a poor way, they don't take those drugs in a poor way. They consume these drugs for a purpose.
Excess consumption will lead to acquire some diseases or affecting the liver, brain, or the heart. There's a point whereby someone even gets heart depression for such things.
Honorable, are you aware that these people who take drugs are ever informed? They are not ignorant. Because you can't tell me, take assumption of the cigarettes. As you buy cigarettes afterwards, they know what these drugs are going to benefit, whether they are going to be beneficial to them.
Honorable Matop, let me tell this story. Yeah? I've ever heard of someone saying that they tell us that cigarettes are very harmful to our body. Now, what's the use of dying when your lungs are still working together?
Honorable.
You know that's being ignorant about that.
Honorable, are you informed of soldiers? Do you know about the life of soldiers?
Yeah.
Now, take assumption of soldiers who work during the night, and these people need warmth in their bodies. Now, if you deny them from taking these cigarettes, they will just feel cold throughout the night, and they will get diseases.
Excuse me, Honorable Ryan, you're talking about warmth. Let me tell you, there are very many ways of getting warmth. Is it only cigarettes that can give you warmth?
But warmth, cigarettes.
Is it only cigarette that can give you warmth?
Not
It's not
only
only
cigarettes,
cigarettes.
but it's like this. The thing is like this. Not only cigarettes, but cigarettes will give you internal warmth. But this one is just external, and you will still feel cold.
Honorable Ryan, Daddy, you're taking us to another side.
Are you talking with experience or what?
Let me tell you, that is just people. Let me say it's a myth. People from long ago, people have been saying that someone takes a cigarette because I want to get warmth in my body inside. If you want to say that the warmth in your body, that the warmth that is going to be impacted by the cigarette is more than the warmth which is already inside there.
Why do you think that people sitting on fire, they will still cover themselves? But if you take inside there, you will feel warm. Because you can't tell me. And these people need to move, not sitting in one place. You see,
there's this part that you didn't do about research. You know that overtaking of something leads to addiction, whereby you reach a moment that without drugs you can't function.
Even the people even surrounding you, yes. You can hear that people are saying that for me, whenever I'm feeling sleeping, yeah, I take this, then I'm now okay. Then for you say, like you're trying to maintain your boundaries, but whenever you're having that challenge, you're trying to say, let me try today. I can't try. That day you refuse. But now when something becomes too much on you, and the luggage of that thing becomes too much, you say, you know what? Let me decide today. Now the first day you test, you feel like, this thing has been good like this. I've never even tried to do it. Let me do it another time. Then what happens? You are not unaddictive now.
excuse me.
Honorable man, first of all, you're senior to like me. And like in Central, I remember there's a topic that talks about drug abuse. And even according to like PE, someone has to take enough rest. So you're not going to tell me that it's all about
but enough rest, but it depends on the people. There are some people who work in shifts.
Let me tell you,
then take an assumption
if you
that my
work in
shift
shifts,
is at
why
9.
should you use drugs
That means that
you know that
why should you use drugs?
Do you know why they make shifts? Because they know this one will reach at a time, and he or she becomes tired, needs to rest. Then they bring in the fresh ones.
Honorable, come here. Never confuse the listeners. Maybe if someone around, there is nobody around who can defend. But if someone around can defend, I want to inform you, never confuse the listeners. Because you can't say that shift is there. Because if my shift is there tonight, you see, but you can't tell me that I'm going to spend the whole day sleeping. Obviously, it is impossible.
To that, and even your child seeing you are father.
It's like this. It's like this.
Will you be afford? Like, will you afford to tell?
Yes.
Your
By
child
the way, Honorable Matovu, Honorable Lukman said that you can see from others. Do you know that your child can see from you that oh my God, that takes drugs because he wants to stay up all night. So me too, let me copy.
And your child won't be aware of that.
Yes.
It's like this. I remember giving you the act before I started. I said that the act states that drugs should only be supplied to responsible persons. If it's like that, meaning that this child is not responsible, she's not. But still, I can support. I can support.
No, you can leave the drug on the table.
I can support. You know why? You've said that she has come with the drugs home. and tells me that he wants to revise hard, you see, not to sleep. Of course, I can support, because you see, to these candidates mainly, no time to rest there. And in order to get to keep enthusiasm and sober, you need to at least
you make a child get addicted.
addicted using prescribed one.
Let me tell you, you're talking of the act. The act. Like you have said, it should be supplied to the responsible ones. Now, okay, yeah, you have supplied to the responsible one. Now the responsible one is having it in use. Then how about this the responsible child?
But Honorable Kamya, let me tell you something.
Who is seeing the father or the mother or the brother?
Supplementing on what
But
Kamya is
but
trying to say.
the but the
How
the
will you-
person
how
who
will
is
you-
not responsible
how will you
lives
have-
with a person who is responsible.
Ah,
If you bring
wait and
drugs
see.
home,
And that's what I tell you, that I'm not responsible, me our child, and their father's
Honorable.
responsible. I'll copy from you, and I will take that of the rest which has been
supplementing on what
remaining
Lazarus
there.
is trying to say. You talked of that if my child wants to revise hard, I'm going to allow my child to take drugs.
Obviously,
no,
yes.
No, wait, I'm still saying. Which kind of
And that
parents?
which class?
No, that's right. First, hold on. Which kind of parents are you guys going to be? That you're going to keep your child awake using drugs? Do you know that when the firstborn sees that my father uses drugs, the firstborn is going to copy. You're going to, the second one will see,
It
my,
will be
my
like
elder
a
brother
chain,
also does the same. You're going to end up when your family is a drug addict.
It-
When you guys, you're addicted of drugs, that without drugs, you guys, your family is gonna
And
see
I'm
you
telling you,
as-
let me tell you
Excuse me.
this. There are
Like
two
this.
types of drug abusers. Do you know that there is passive and active? And do you know that drug abuse?
You want to mean that even alcohol is passive? Not all drugs are passive. Let me tell you, just as Honorable stated it clear, brought it clear that you give the child the coffee,
Are you going to
allow
let,
the child to.
are you going to let
Excuse
your
me,
child take alcohol?
Excuse me.
Are you going to let
You know, normally to these children who are not responsible, as the father brings the polythene, the child wants to pinch and see what is there before the father opening. Wait for introduction before I conclude. You see, let me tell you, as Honorable brought it clear that you give coffee. I want to inform you that coffee in that way is a drug, because not all drugs are just manufactured. The clear explanation of drugs is that these are any substance that can cause whether addiction, whether what, if used in excess. If you say that you are going to give the child coffee, of course, coffee is also will also be a drug.
Coffee is planted.
Will also
it's
be a
not a
drug. Why, if it's not a drug, why is it going to keep the child sober? Why is it going to keep the child not sleeping? Why is it like that? The same to drugs. Don't tell us like that. Don't.
Okay, for coffee, it has less side effects than the other drugs used.
And it's not counted as in drugs.
But it's
But coffee is
advisable
a
to be
drug
taken.
because it is used in making other
You
drugs.
can't tell me that coffee is a drug, yet even the hospitals encourage you to take coffee in
Yes,
such a-
doctors recommend.
Let me
us
ask
to
him.
take
Let me
coffee.
ask Lukman. Can you give us examples of drugs that are manufactured using coffee?
Take assumption of coffee malt.
It does not a drug.
That is enough.
That is
It's
an
already
energy
a drug.
drink.
Energy drink, but you need drugs. Yes. Maybe you didn't revise hard to know the clear explanation of the term drugs. Please go and consult more. Go and do more research. Because a
lying
drug,
to public.
a drug is not only manufactured. Let me tell you, the drugs you only know alcohol, cigarettes, this cocaine, what. It's not only those. I want to inform you that even those like such as coffee, what and what are drugs. Not even anything that can keep you sober, not in any that can change your
let me ask
emotions
you a
and
question.
when taken, that is a drug, of course.
Let
Obviously.
me tell you. Do you know that you take this? Yeah. Do you know that some of these expensive cookies? Do you know that they can even keep you sober? Do you
But
want to
there
say
are
that-
drugs there. I want to inform you there are drugs there. Maybe you didn't do research. Go.
Even
Let me tell you.
biscuits.
Let me bring it clear to you.
Drugs.
If you
Should
as
I
you go,
bring
as
should
you
I
go
bring
in,
a biscuit and you
bring and I show you, because as you go to those expensive cookies, in between there in the middle, there is a certain part that is extremely dark. You see, normally extremely dark. They are drugs. Don't confuse the listeners. Not all, but as you say that expensive ones. As you've said it, they are like that.
Let me ask you, Honorable.
Don't confuse the listeners.
Honorable, you're not confusing listeners.
It's
so
you.
what you're trying to put on table is that every black thing that you find in any eatable is
Not
a drug.
every drug,
Is
every
it a
drug,
drug?
but as she has brought in cookies, bring it and I
The
show you. 'Cause
flavors
I
things
need-
days, things are going international.
Excuse me,
nobody who's
Excuse
going
me,
to go in the hospital and they're
Excuse
telling
me,
you that he or she is going to be he or she is he is a drug addict because of taking much cookies.
Excuse me, Honorable. How many cookies have you seen containing that black thing?
Ask your neighbor, but of course, let me talk
ask your
about
No,
that.
you have
Ask
said
your
that.
neighbor.
You have said that.
Because he's the one who have brought that thing of dark things in cookies.
Yes, this
Ask
is
your
that
neighbor.
stuff
Okay,
in high
Obviously,
school
yes,
is by those
that
of
means that
flavors.
whenever you
Excuse
find
me,
that
what I
black
want.
thing in a cookie, because you've said that there are little cookies containing that black things. That means whenever you find it there, it's a drug, obviously.
Okay, okay.
Because it's not
Okay.
common. It's
Okay.
not common, and it's
Let's
only expensive ones.